this is Bonnie, and I'm getting ready to make another card with our new release paper called EveningField, and also some new stamps from Fairy Hugs. So the paper I've chosen from this pad is this one, and the stamps that I'm going to be using, which this one I've already showed you, and we've used one out of this package, and that's the Dancing Bees. And I've used this one. I'm going to be using some other ones in this card. I'm also going to be using, this is called Honeycomb Texture, which is really a super stamp. I'm also going to be using the Rainbow Arch, and I'm going to be using the Heart Vine Corners, and there's hearts in these. Just have to look, you can see some of the hearts. And there's two different sizes. This is a small and this is the larger size. And then I'm going to be using the Look For sentiment again, and this time I'll be using When It Rains, Look For Rainbows. So I'm going to go ahead and get that set up and we'll get stamping. Okay, I've got this partially set up how I want to start stamping it, and I've got the Heart Vine Corners here, and I'm bringing it down a little bit because, as you probably saw a second ago, I had one of the dancing bees at the top holding the vine up. Actually, it's holding part of one of the hearts is what I want it to do. So let's see if I can get this set up to make that work. And this is going to be more of the focal, whatever, stamp. So I'm doing that in Nocturne. See, I've got a little bit of ink. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and stamp that. Okay, I need to stamp that again. I should have left that tape up there. Needs a little bit more. Probably didn't press down in that spot very well. We're going to make sure I do this time. Okay, I think that one little spot. There we go. Okay, so we've got that, and I like using this paper because if you can see, the hearts for the most part are in the pink part, and I really like that. So the next thing I'm going to use is the bee that's kind of flying around like that, so I am going to have to move that over to the side. And I want him to look like he's holding that heart. So let's see if we can get that to set up in that fashion. It's easier to see if you've already stamped it one time. And I haven't yet because they're new. All right, let's see if we can get that to work. And again, I'm going to be using Nocturne. That looks pretty good. Okay, he's got one hand on it. Yay, that works. Okay, and then I keep losing my photo. I have a reference to how I decided I wanted to do this. Okay, so my next thing I wanted to do is put the Rainbow Arch here because I want to have one of the dancing bees on top, and that is going to be, make sure I've got the right one. I think okay, I think it's going to be that one, or I'm going to do this one. I think I'll do that one down there. That's going to work. So we're going to do the one that's like this up here. So let's make sure I have room, and I do. All right. And stamp my rainbow. There's so many things you can do with this rainbow besides just stamping it in black too. And in that case too, I am not going to stamp it with a nocturne. I am going to stamp it with a morning mist so I can do a little bit of coloring. So I can give it some colors on this, although I really like the paper background, it works really well. And I also am thinking, because I'm also going to be putting the texture behind, so I have to make sure there is a little bit of a difference, so there will be if I color it. All right. So that looks really good. I really like this arch rainbow. And let's see now, what one did I say? Right, it's going to be this one. Make sure I get the right guy. He's going the other way. That's not him. Here we go. I didn't think I had used him yet. Nope. And maybe it is one I did use. I don't think so. All right, first of all, you know what? It makes a difference if you've got the paper going the right way. All right, so I do need this one. All right, there we go. Now they fit. They fit if you have the paper going the right way. And it keeps getting darker because of the rain, and it's so hard to line this up. There we go. That's better. All right, and he's going to be a nocturne. Keep these separate so I don't mess up. Alrighty. He likes dancing on top of the rainbow. And he looks great. All right, and then I'm going to do the rainbow one more time, but this time I'm going to put it down a little bit off the page, or off the paper. Move this up a bit. Okay, and whoops, almost lost my little bee. And this is just going to come off. Here, let me get this up just a little bit. The reason I moved that down is because of the glare from the light. So I'm going to move it down just a little bit so it's closer to the bottom, a little bit off. And again, I've got that the wrong way around. When they're symmetrical or they look similar, it is easy to do. All right. And you know what? I pulled the wrong one, the wrong ink. I don't want this darker, so I'm going to take that ink off and put the morning mist on. I'm glad I caught that. Might still have a little bit of that ink on here, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, that'll be okay. It's closer to the front, so it can be darker. It's fine. So, and the one I need on there is the guy that's going the other way, and I've already stamped him, so it's easy for me to see him. And he's like, they're kind of like walking towards each other. And this one will be definitely Nocturne. Yay. They're really super cute together. All right, so the next thing I'd like to do is use this, I want to see the directions that it shows me. I mean, you can use this in any direction you want to, really. So, just trying to see what direction, yep. So we go that way. So I'm just going to randomly, oops, losing my tape. I'm just going to randomly put this throughout to fill in some of this space. And I'm going to be using, I need to put some more tape back on there, and I'm going to be using the morning mist. I really like this texture. And again, by using the morning mist, it allows me to color that in any color I really want to do. So, all right, we'll just try one and see how that looks. And then I'll set it up to see what else I want to do. We're going to try just one first. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit lighter, so we'll see. I'm going to try to figure that out, but I am going to add that. Okay, so if I was to do this again, I would use a lighter ink, and I think I would probably use Distress Oxide, just because I don't want it really to be this dark, but I'm still going to make it work because of what I'm going to do. So what I wanted to show you is how these can work if you rotate them to look like they're continuous. And so this will line up next to this one, and it would line up better if I didn't have this right there. So I was trying to make it so that it would be above it, and that's what I have set up. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp it again, but because I've already done the nocturne, or not the nocturne, but the morning mist, I'm going to do it again. So I hope that works out that way. And it might overlap just a little bit, and that's okay. I just didn't really want it to overlap a lot on the vine, but I did want the texture look. And you see, I want it to be more faded. I don't want it to be a solid stamp, so that's why I'm going to leave it just that way. I'm not going to stamp it again. And I think I am going to add a little bit more throughout. I don't want it just in that one spot. So, like for instance, I'm going to add it up here at the top. I'm going to need this paper and my Make-It. So, and it doesn't really matter the direction I do over here as long as it fits in there as best as I, can. And that works really good, filling in. And again, I'm going to cover up my one I'm not using so I don't mess up, and just get the bottom of this. And that works. Okay, it's a little bit darker, but that's okay. I already told you what I would do the next time. I would use a lighter ink, and I don't care that the Distress Oxide would not be perfect, because I don't want it to be perfect. So far that looks pretty good. I do know I need to put that sentiment in here, so I'm going to do that before I add any more of the texture, and then we'll add some more texture. Okay, I want to make sure I'm going the right way. I'm going to put that right underneath the rainbow, and it's the rainbow sediment. Making sure I'm lined up. I think that looks good. I hope. And I want some more tape down there. Alright, so this one is going to be Nocturne. And again, it's a small stamp, so don't push hard because you will get a shadow. And there's a good chance I'm going to have to do it twice. But actually that looks good. Okay, we're going with that. All right, so now I'm going to add a little bit more of the texture to balance it out. I think we'll go this way. Starting to lose my sticky on those washi tape. All right, so I know I don't want Nocturne, so let's move that out of the way. And we're gonna go ahead and get some of this randomly down here. I'm gonna have to move it over. Make sure we got a little bit straight. And pull that down. Okay. I'm gonna use this piece, I think. Alrighty, let's see. I'm trying to see which way it looks the best, and that's what I like about this texture thing. You could really use it any direction that you want. So it's gonna go like that. Well, hold on. I'm gonna have to move it over just a tad because it was gonna hit the wind part. All right, now we're better. We're better if I get it straight. All right, so just the inside stamping. And the other thing I could have done too is true, it could have been second generation stamping, and I did not do that. That probably would even be a smarter way to go. But I'm not doing that, I'm keeping it consistent now. So it's the same shade. Okay. And we're going to go just a little bit down here. And you see, you really can go, see how I turned that? Whoops, I probably missed. See how I turned that? You can turn this any direction you want to go. And so I'm using it horizontally now this time, and it still fits in there great. And it's still, you can't really tell, except for that just moved it because my paper moved. And we'll fix it. I think I got a little bit on there already. And that's okay, because I'll stamp right where it's at. Good. Yep, so that's your other option, second generation. It's probably what I should have done, but I didn't know when I first stamped. I thought it would be lighter than what it was, and it's not. So, I think we're good. Let's just check that out and see if we want to do, I don't think I want anything over here. I want to make sure. There's not much of any, I would have to mask him, and or I guess I could do that. I do have a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit there. I think it looks too much like a gap to me, so I'm going to do that. Sorry I'm being so fussy, but I really like it to look balanced. And that's the best way I know how to do it. All right, I'm starting to run out of washi tape that sticks. There we go. All right, so I think that's gonna work. It'll fit right in there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's gonna fit right, even the dots. That's exactly what I want. That's why I like this texture. And I've got it the right way, yep. That's why I like these texture stamps. They're kind of cool. All right, make sure I'm the right way around. I am. Alrighty. Pick that up. There we go. All right, that's what I wanted. And again, like I said, the stamp can be a solid stamp. It doesn't have to be like how I did it. I want it that way because I don't know, I just want it that way. And plus I'm probably going to go over it a little bit with some, I don't know if I'm going to, I think I am still going to use gel pen. So let me get that stuff together and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I've already started coloring in the rainbows. I wanted to have the right colors that would go good with the background paper. So if you're really paying attention to what pencils I'm using, this one's called Processed Red. And instead of actually coloring the dark spots, I am actually coloring in between and still get the rainbow look. But you could also color very simply that could even stamp those colors if you wanted to, or you can even I think I'm going to try Tim Holtz embossing glaze and see what I can do with making the rainbow using that too, but that's going to be coming much later. I have other cards I have to make, so lots of ideas with the rainbow. And actually the rainbow looks really cool just used as mountains or hills. It doesn't even have to be a rainbow, it can just be a design. So the next color is going to be, it is an orange hue and it's called cardamom, I guess. I can't say that word very good. But I think you can see all I'm doing is coloring in between. And it does give color to the card. It's, again, not necessary. It's only if you want color, but this is easy coloring. And it would be really fun for kids. Kids would love to color these rainbows in. And they can color in whatever color they want. And then the next color will be the yellow ochre. And again, it makes a difference where you stamp these for the color to show up. I actually plan to color towards the bottom of this paper where it's lighter, and so the colors show. It would be different on the, if we were doing it up here on the top part. So the next one is spring green. And if you have someone that really likes glitter, you can also use your collage medium or whatever you use to add glitter and put your glitter over the top. Oh, I forgot to tell you this one. Non-photo blue. You could also put glitter on top of these rainbows. And that would be pretty too. Okay, and then the last color is lilac. I did stay with more of a, they're not really total pastel shades, but they're closer to pastel because the bold colors would not go really great with a background paper. In this case, I didn't think it would stand out too much. All right, so we've got the rainbows all colored, and then just like what I've done in the past, I also color the wings of the bees, and I am going to use what I used probably before, aquamarine, and just color the parts close to him dark. Same with this one, and then I have the one at the top. Now what else I did with this color is I actually decided, instead of making these leaves green because it's in the sky, I just decided to add the blue. And I'm just really basically coloring over the vine or the leaf veins. It is going on the actual leaf too. Just because I wanted to have the blue color up there instead of the green. And it kind of like all coordinates better, I guess. But I did have green below, but it just, I don't know, I just wanted it that color. All right, see, I did miss one. All right, so let's finish off the, let's go ahead and finish off the wings, and I'm gonna use the non-photo blue again like I did before, because that just blends in. Okay. And really, these are really kind of, like I said, they're really this part of it, doing the wings, and that is a simple thing to do even for kids. You could even include pencils with your card or something, and then they could color it in themselves if they wanted to. So the hearts, I told you, I purposefully did them where it was pink, but I went ahead and started coloring them in anyway, just to show you that you can, and it kind of makes them pop even more, I think. But the ones at the top aren't going to show up as much colored. Maybe they will. Yeah, they do. It's a little bit darker color, so it shows up. And I think you can see that. Yep. Okay. So the next thing, as you know, I like to do is add the gold, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the wings with the folk art glitter paint, and then start with the gold. So I don't put my hand in it. I'm going to start at the top. And again, this can be a birthday card instead of using the sentiment that I used. But you could still use that too. I don't know why a rainbow couldn't be used anytime, even for a birthday. Because one of my favorite things to do is to look for rainbows whenever it rains and the sun is shining. Okay, so we got that done. The wings are done. So the only thing else is to add the gold gel pen. So you can kind of tell what I like to use in my stash a lot when I do these cards. So oops, can't really see that there. Let me get down a little bit. All right, so the bee body, I'm just going to color that in with the gold sparkly gel pen. I really like this gold sparkly gel pen. It's really pretty. And then his body down here. I've also made pink bees before, and I really like the pink bees. They're cute. So instead of doing yellow, I will do pink. All right, so we've got the bees all done, and they look really fun and sparkly. And so then the next thing I would do is spend some time going through and highlighting all of these, which will take a while, honeycombs. And I'm giving them a little bit of the sparkle as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be back. Okay, so I've got all of those honeycomb dots colored in with my sparkly gel pen. I think it's actually quite pretty. It's not originally what I planned to do. I really wanted a faded background, but now that it's all turned out, I actually really like it. The other thing I wanted to show you that I did is I added a little bit of gold, a sparkly pen, to the black part of the rainbow. So I was going to show you that really quickly. I didn't do the one down here. All I'm doing is, it's just dots, dashes, whatever you want to do, just to highlight the rainbow too. That's all I did. So many different things you can really do, and it seems to work out. It's like, if plan A doesn't work, try plan B. So like I said, the honeycomb could have even been embossed, heat embossed, you know, with gold glitter embossing powder, actually. But I actually enjoy coloring, and I enjoyed coloring in all those hexagons in the honeycomb. So we are just about finished with this card, and I really appreciate you stopping by. And again, I'll show you. It's so cute. Again, I'll have the information below in the description so you know what I used to make this card. Thanks so much for stopping by.